So we have some brand new Transformer items to talk about today. Two brand new Earthspark items that popped up out of nowhere, as well as some higher res images of some Transformers Rise of the Beast items that some of it has been popping up, but we haven't had some high res stock images of these. So now we have these that we could talk about. So let's jump into it. And the first thing we are going to cover is these two brand new Transformers Earthspark Tacticons that popped up out of nowhere on the other side of the globe. These come courtesy of a Twitter user by the name of CharlieBot34, all the way in Denmark. And we got two new Tacticons. Had no idea about these coming out. They just showed up on the shelves. One is of Hashtag and the other one is of Arcee. Hashtag is in her post-chosen alt mode. We have Hashtag with the Ghost Recon van that she scanned in the second half of the episodes. And we have Arcee in her 1950s. I like to see it as a Cadillac muscle car because that's kind of what it's invoking. Obviously, it's not licensed, but... And these are, of course, Tacticons. This, I guess we could call it the second wave of them. Before that, we got Bumblebee, Megatron, and Optimus, and now this is a second wave of them. I don't know if there's a third one. We don't know yet. For this wave, but it's pretty cool that they're getting some kind of figures. Granted, it is the Tacticons, and for people that aren't familiar with those, they're these very tiny little Transformers that they're kind of like a finger puppet. You just kind of put your finger on the alt mode, and then it kind of transforms and wraps around your finger automatically. Very limited in the articulation and paint details. And this is the first for each of these characters of this iteration in toy form. So I'm really hoping that we do get better versions of these characters down the line. I'm so worried that we're going to have the same fate that we kind of had with Cyberverse with some of the key female characters, because while we did get a fantastic deluxe class Arcee in Cyberverse, she made my top 5 Transformers of that year. That's how good that figure was, in my opinion. But then we look at these ones here and I go, oh no, is it going to be like, Windblade in Cyberverse? Because Windblade was like practically one of the main characters of Cyberverse, and she had 2 figures. She had that extremely weak, not very good warrior class figure. They didn't even give her a deluxe, which still eats me up to this day. And then they gave her that like half transformable, doesn't even transform, gimmicky scout class. And it was like, really? Like one of them, Prowl has 6 different figures and she here has only 2, really? And Prowl had like no lines in the show. And then you have like characters like Shadow Striker in Cyberverse that had the same fate, that half transformable, garbage, gimmicky scout class figure. And then a super out of scale, oversized, kibbly, gimmick based, covered ultra class figure. So I really hope that both Hashtag and Arcee actually get decent figures. I mean, the deluxes that we've gotten thus far has been pretty good. Or even if a warrior class, just something that's just, more that could be into scale with your collection and represent those iterations of those characters from Earthspark. We got that Grimlock that we just saw recently, the images. We talked about it on the live stream last week. And hopefully at some point we'll see Nightshade too. But, the line has been, very bizarre recently. Like, I don't know about the future of Earthspark, but I talk to different toy managers all the time about what's moving, what isn't moving. I also talk with them about G.I. Joe and stuff because that's the one I'm also very concerned with lack of movement of inventory. And Earthspark stuff has been struggling heavily. Mainline, Rise of the Beast stuff has been doing pretty good. Of course, all of that studio series and all the I guess, adult collector AIM Transformer stuff has been doing pretty good. But Earthspark has been suffering pretty badly. It hasn't been moving very well. And a lot of it is slowly starting to find its way into the clearance section of different retailers. And even look at this photo here that we're talking about today. Those 2 items, granted it's in Denmark, but they're marked down also. And these are brand new items in theory. So it's something weird. And considering the fact that we're learning about both Hashtag and Arcee this way, being found in the wild as opposed to, let's say, IGN News or comicbook.com or some hype train that they might want to do, might say a lot about the future of this line. I really hope I'm wrong, but it's not looking good for Earthspark. I'm just going to say that right now. And we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe the fandom is kind of rejecting it. Who knows? It's very bizarre. But we always speak with our money, and it looks like the money isn't moving. Hopefully we'll get a better Arcee. I just hope so too. And then let's get into the Transformers Rise of the Beast stuff. So we got some brand new mainline images. So Rise of the Beast mainline, Beast Alliance, Beast Combiner 2-pack, Scourge and Scorponok. We got some brand new nice images. Some images we saw in the wild. No one picked it up yet, but now we got some really good images of this. Looks fantastic. Again, I like these Beast Combiners. I like these. They're kind of like the Energon armors and some of the other things that they did in the past. And it gives, again, a cheaper alternative for people to own these characters, because if you want to pick up Scourge, there's the Studio series, but that's a leader class, and this is something that's a little more smaller and affordable, and you get a little Terracon to go with it, because we know that Scorponok is a big part of that final battle in the movie. So it's good for a kid, it's good for a desk bot, just these fun little items, and I enjoy that. That's always cool stuff. We also got images, and these ones aren't really like revolutionary. It's just now we got some brand new stock images of both the Rise of the Beast mainline deluxe Mirage. So it looks pretty good. Again, that's another good alternative. And who knows, might be the best one, because I don't know, that Studio Series one, I still need to see it in person, but I'm still kind of worried about that one. And if you want something even a little more simpler, they got that Rise of the Beast Battle Changer Mirage also that we've seen some images of. So pretty cool stuff. Otherwise, and that's it more or less. A little bit of Earthrise and a little bit of Rise of the Beast. We're closing in on our movie. Every week that passes, we're getting a little closer and closer. I hope you've already picked up your tickets. Make sure to let everyone know that you're interested in this movie and you want more of it. And again, tomorrow is the Transformers Slag podcast live stream, Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to tune in for that. And we'll talk again real soon on the Transformers Slag podcast. And thank you for listening.